program, Holiness in the Pauline family, we, the daughters of St. Paul, wish to bring you, our pioneer Paulines, men and women who have gone before us, spreading the fragrance of good news through the modern means of communications. The Pauline family consists of 5 religious congregations, 4 secular institutes, and 1 association of Pauline cooperators. The first congregation, Society of St. Paul for Priests and Brothers, was founded in 1914. A year later, Blessed James Alberione, the founder, began the feminine branch, namely Daughters of St. Paul. All the other institutions came into being at a later stage, as and when the founder felt the need of the contemporary society. Though everything was clear in his mind, he prayed over his initiatives and sought advice from his spiritual director in all his ventures. Our pioneer brothers and sisters have traveled in time and history, experiencing poverty and challenges on the way. Today, we take pride in their accomplishments in different parts of the world as we render our services in 53 nations, the fruit of their hard work and commitment. What we want to focus here is their unimaginable strength and courage that sustain them in spite of their weak physique, in spite of their lack of academic preparations. They have contributed much. They have proclaimed the good news with zeal and love. They have sowed seeds of love and enthusiasm for the Word of God. What motivated them to forge ahead to their goal, in spite of the obstacles that they faced on their way? Let us meet them one by one, and we hope that you will be inspired by their journeys. Today, we shall look at Venerable Thecla Merlo, co-foundress and first Mother General of the Daughters of St. Paul.
A warm welcome to you, my dear brothers and sisters, to this program organized by the Daughters of St. Paul. Thecla Merlo, together with her mother in 1915, met Father James Abelgron, the founder of the Congregation of the Daughters of St. Paul. The congregation was only a dream project in the mind of the 26-year-old priest. He was then the spiritual director in the seminary. The greatness of Thecla lies in the fact that she could enter into the dream, understand the vision of the founder for the contemporary society that was in 1915, and stay on with this project to bring it into a reality. She was indeed a woman of a faith and vision. Due to ill health, she was not accepted in the convent of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Cotolengo, whom she approached as she desired to serve God's people as religious. At home, she taught sewing to the young women of the village, preparing them for the family life. Besides, teaching them sewing and embroidery, in which she excelled. Thecla was taught them prayers and values. So it was a meeting of two great souls filled with zeal for God when Alberione and Thecla encountered at St. Damian's Parish Church in Alba. In the material poverty of a young priest, Thecla recognized a mine of spiritual wealth that had to be used for the people of the 20th century. Father Alberione recognized in this sickly 21-year-old woman a total availability to do God's will. Thecla had a charism of making herself available to others, and now she had a special talent of understanding the vision of the founder. When there was nothing to see or touch with regard to his future plans. All that she would find when she entered was a bunch of teenage boys and two girls living in a poor house. For an outsider, the plans for Father James were just an illusion. What could these young boys and girls from the remote village accomplish in the field of media of communication? There was no money, no land to build a house for themselves. At that point of time, they depended entirely on providence. Alberion explained to her mother that he was looking for someone to guide a small band of girls who were sewing clothes for the army. It was only a beginning. Something greater would emerge. The girls would also live in community. Alberion spoke to the mother and daughter separately. For Thecla, this was a God-given opportunity to realize her dream of a religious. The mission was something new. It would take time, and she would need to wait patiently. It was June 15, 1915. Thecla accepted the invitation of James Alberion. With the permission of her mother, she would stay for a week and then decide. For Teresa Thecla, the first never concluded. She stayed till her death. While they worked, Teresa's life spoke volumes of helping the small group of young ladies around her to grow in faith and human values. Thecla spontaneously taught her words by her life and examples. She had no training in the media field, yet she encouraged her sisters to get professional training in the use of the instruments and engage in the content preparation. She remained behind the screen, encouraging and supporting every new venture in the new mission of disseminating the gospel through the media of communication, sprouting in the church. She trusted God and believed that founder was carrying a special mission from God. This conviction dispersed any fears, if at all there were any, and move ahead, patting the shoulders of her sisters who were trying to give wings and feet to the gospel. Venerable Thecla Merlo was born in Castagnito, Italy on February 20th, 1894. She was called to hear heavenly reward on February 5th, 1964. The founder Alberion said about her, "The Lord used her as He willed because He found no resistance in her. She never resisted the will of God. You sensed that it was Lord who sustained her. She was a contemplative soul. She knew how to turn the others, but always and in the first place she turned to God. Everything had to come from God and everything was done for God. She lived always under the gaze of God." My dear brothers and sisters, her life today is an inspiration for all of us to understand that how we can live our life in our families with a lot of perseverance. There would be an inspiration for us from Christ Himself. Can we take up this challenge like Thecla Merlo to persevere in whatever small things that we are doing in our family, in our personal life, that we always believe and trust in God. May our inspiration help the whole congregation of Daughters of St. Paul and to all the families who are watching this, that they may receive Christ's blessing. I wish you all the best. Let her life be an inspiration for us. May God bless you all.